the Anti-Social Podcast, episode 211.
12.
No, it's 211. Are you paying attention? I've got a special guest here. I've got Larry Burb behind me, but I've also got my other Burb, my wife.
Hi.
And your name is?
Jessica.
Is it Jessica, or is it better to just refer to you as Jess?
Jess is fine.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for joining my little podcast. You've got a glass of wine. I've got I've got a beer. I was meant to be sober for this anyway. All right, a bit awkward because we've never done a podcast together, and you're frowning at me already. This is awkward. I've got a bunch of things to run through, and then you can just chime in and give me shit whenever you feel like it.
Okay.
But have you ever done a podcast before, Jess?
No.
Why?
Because scared.
Oh.
Thanks, Auntie.
All right. Well, most of it's going to be me shit talking, so you can just chime in whenever you feel like it. But thanks for keeping me company as I ramble on for the next however long. A whole bunch of stuff going on. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about coronavirus because that's what everybody's talking about. I'm sure that every time you turn on your phone, there's something new on some more social commentary.
What was that? There's always something new about corona.
Yeah. So I'm not going to harp on too much about that. But I think we're both officially in lockdown now. So we won't be getting out much at all. So we'll play that one by ear. But I think there was a little alert this afternoon saying that the government was going to lock everything down in the next 48 hours. So all the non-essential places are going to be shut down completely. So we've got wine and beer, so we'll be fine. So I've actually, Jess, look at this. This is my notes. So as you can see.
I like that. They're in order.
Yeah. So I have to number everything. But
I didn't even see the numbers through all this.
Can you see all the scribble?
Yeah.
So I've got all the scribble all over my page. And what I was trying to do, I probably shouldn't actually admit this, but I got a box of CDs for Tim because one of Tim's projects, a band called Serenity Defiled. I'm slurring already. Serenity Now. They just put out a new album, and I've got the CDs, and I've been shipping them out. And there was one request for a signature, the Tim's signature, and Tim's like, "Can you just forge my signature on the CD?"
You didn't.
And I'm like, "Oh, I'll give it a go." And so I spent all that time on this piece of paper trying to scribble his signature, and I could not get it. And then I thought, maybe just, you know how when you just do something without thinking and it just works? I thought, I'll just do that. And so I grabbed one of the covers and I just scribbled on it, and it was...
Where is it? Can I see it?
No, I got rid of it. It's gone. I've destroyed a booklet. So sorry, Tim. So I've kept that one aside. I've got rid of the booklet, and it's now a promo CD. So I'll send it out to somebody as a promo. But these were my attempts, and I didn't want to waste the paper, so I just thought I'll just write over the top of it. So I'll probably struggle to read what I've actually scribbled down on top of the scribble. But
you can play Mr. Squiggle.
Well, you can. Well, actually, I can't give it to you because I've still got to read off it. But I was going to say you could do that while I'm talking, but no, it's not going to work. Yep. There's been heaps of shit online. Like everybody's obviously got more time on their hands with social media. They're like posting extra shit. There's dumb videos online. I'm getting tagged in a whole bunch of dumb like copy and paste chainmail things online. Did you see my ranting post on Facebook today?
No, I didn't actually.
No, why not?
I don't actually look at your page.
Oh, why not?
Because I hear enough about your shit at home.
Oh, okay. Oh, thanks. So, so I've been getting tagged. I think the latest thing was on Twitter where it's like name your last 5 jobs or your first 5 jobs, and then you nominate people. And so I got tagged in it, and then everybody else that got tagged started sharing their 5 jobs. So my feed's just been filled with that. So I did a bit of a rant on Facebook and Twitter today about that because that's my style. So
what were your first 5 jobs?
Damn it. I worked for the warehouse, which was like a Queensland thing. I don't think it was in New South Wales.
I think there was one. It was like a crazy warehouse.
Yeah.
It was crazy cheap.
Yeah.
And there were crazy people working in there.
Yeah, like the reject shop, but it was like a warehouse.
It's like Crazy John's.
I didn't have that in Queensland.
No, that was it. I think
Wasn't that a phone thing?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, right. So it wasn't that at all.
It wasn't crazy.
No. But it was like one of those discount stores.
It was like Golo.
Oh, I didn't have Golo. Oh, I don't know. Anyway.
Have.
So yeah, there was that, and then worked for Queensland Health. I think I've said this on the
good
podcast.
Second job.
Yeah, well, thanks to Dad. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a shoe-in. So Danny Dowling gets me in. But I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but one of the first things I did in this job was it was sort of like an admin job, and Dad worked in this auditing department, and it was also shared with a bunch of police officers that work for Queensland Health in the investigations unit. So they'd investigate corruption and malpractice in Queensland Health. And so, or if there was whistleblowers and things like that, they'd have to investigate and see what's going on. But they also had this brand new technology, which was like a net nanny. And so it would scan emails. Yeah. And it would scan people's emails for skin tones. And then somebody had to manually look at all the photos to determine whether it was a breach of company policy or whether it was just like baby photos getting shared around the office. And that was me. I would go through this inbox in Outlook and look at the emails and see what it was. And if it was a breach, then I would drag it into another folder. And then anything else I just delete or put in another folder or whatever it was. But then for whatever reason, once the ones that were in breach, you would have to then print off 3 copies of the breach, so the email and the attachments, in colour, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. And one went to, I don't know, but they went to another person or whatever. And then the other 2 copies went into a folder that went into this giant compactus that was all put in by or either department or by region, or I don't think it was by person's name or whatever, but
by colour.
By colour. Okay. And but it was everything. It was like, it was pornography, gore. It was like just like the craziest stuff getting shared around. And that was me at like, I don't know, 19.
For Queensland Health?
Yeah. So it was like
people sharing gore and porn through Queensland
through their work
Health.
emails.
Really?
Yeah.
That happened?
Yeah. Oh,
Idiots?
Heaps.
Idiots?
So they would get like,
Seriously?
they get a first and final warning. They get a letter issued to them. And then if it happened again, there was termination. So they were out of the job.
Is this pre-Facebook?
Yeah. So it would have been like 2000 I don't know, 2002 maybe, or something like that, early 2000s.
I think so.
So that was a pretty wild job to have, just getting into the workforce. And then I was at Queensland Health for a bit, and then I moved to Sydney and was doing admin work and different things as I built this amazing career of just, I don't know, doing stuff.
Admin Andy?
Yeah, Admin Andy, that's me. There you go. What about your 5 jobs?
I think you only told me 3.
Oh, well, I just wash the rest of them away. It doesn't really matter.
It's just under the umbrella Admin Andy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I worked for a hairdressing salon washing old ladies' hair, and that was really not great.
Why?
Because if you've not ever washed an old person's head before,
I haven't.
Get ready. It feels like you kind of got a Glad wrap bag of jelly over a skull, and you're just like rubbing it in, and it's all soapy. It's really, really weird. So they're not as firm as the younger folk out there.
Those younger skulls.
Those younger skulls. Yeah, well, those scalps are pretty tight. And then I worked for Subway, Eat Fresh. Hate it, can't eat it. Since my job at Subway, got fired.
Where'd you get fired?
I got fired by proxy, because my brother also worked there, and he dropped the trays of cookies on purpose to crack them. So we could take those cookies home, because we couldn't sell cracked cookies. And I think it was just we were useless anyway, so we both got fired. Straw. Yeah. And then after that, I worked at Sanity. CD shop if it still exists.
Mm.
Doubt it. And then where else did I work? JB Hi-Fi for like 6 years on and off. That was great. And that's probably,
There you go.
Yeah,
don't
all that matters.
Don't mention where you work now because you'll
No,
incriminate yourself on this
don't wanna do
podcast
that.
and it'll be all over.
I like my job now.
There you go.
I don't want to lose that.
No longer massaging old ladies or old persons. Was it mainly women?
Yeah, old ladies. But there's this one old lady that only got her hair washed once a week and I had to do it. It was so gross.
Did you ever find things in people's scalps?
No, I didn't. I'm so glad I didn't.
Swords and...
Swords?
No, swords. Swords.
Yeah, heaps of people have swords
Crusty,
on their scalps.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, acid infected skin. That's probably not what happened to them, but they had sores. Psoriasis? Is that how you say it? Psoriasis?
Okay, that'll do.
There's a skin condition.
Have you had like 2 sips of wine?
Too many. This is my second glass.
Is it?
No, yeah.
Oh.
I haven't had dinner.
You had a sneaky one. I didn't know that. Anyway, well, there you go. So that's... I think you told me about the salon one. I can't remember. I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's not there anymore.
Yeah, long gone?
Yeah.
All right. So we're in lockdown now, so we've got we're working, so there's things to do, but a little bit more time on our hands. So I don't really watch Netflix or anything like that, but you're always blasting it and watching all sorts of shit. Yeah. Usually wake up in the morning and you're watching something on your phone from the bathroom.
Always.
And what's currently on the Netflix at the moment?
Oh, Netflix, aka Netflix, as my mum calls it, Netflix. It's pandemic because 'tis the season, and then I've been watching Suits, and that's getting really boring. But I need to just finish it because it will bug me on my home feed until I finish that. And then before that, any sort of crime, doco, dark kind of
You're watching
things.
that, like, killing a cat movie or
series.
Don't
Fuck with Cats.
Yeah, and then what was the other one?
That was fucked.
And...
heaps, like... Women in Jail, I forget what it's actually called.
You get up in the morning before me and...
Oh, wait. I can have a look.
Yeah, right. And, you get up before me and you'd be in the bathroom and I can just hear from the bathroom after you're putting your makeup on or whatever, and I can hear, like... And then he, like, cut up her body or, put him into a bag or, buried her in a shallow grave or something like that. And I'll be like, oh, man, it's like 5 a.m. in the morning. This is the first thing. This is going to start my day off really well.
Oh, hang on. It's a weird mix here. So I've got Suits, Girls Incarcerated, Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, Rick and Morty, Wild Country. Oh, no, it's Wild Country. Horror Homes. Oh, that was good.
What's that one?
That's those people who are renting in the UK and live in squalor or don't pay their rent.
They're trying to kick people out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got Botched Up Bodies, of course. And, Making a Murderer, The Staircase. There's heaps of good ones.
Well, I think you'll be set. I don't think you'll be bored. You've got plenty of stuff to watch over the coming however many weeks of being stuck in here. You're not allowed to leave the house at all.
I know.
You can never leave.
No. I'm so conflicted. Although I'm making good sales.
Yeah, you're selling a bit?
Yeah. I think
plug it.
People are actually stuck at home.
I've got nothing to do apart from scrolling through feeds of eBay, online shopping, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Your listeners probably don't like the things that I sell.
Probably not, but they might have... Oh, there's some women that listen to the podcast, or they might have partners or siblings or maybe other family members that could be interested.
Maybe. Well, if they like designer fashion, they can check out my eBay store. It's called Saving Glory, and it's all one word. Or you can just search the hashtag Saving Glory if you want to bring up all my listings. But I really didn't want to do that on this podcast.
Oh, damn. Well, there you go. It's there. So you plugged it.
It's there.
Well done. Oh, and speaking of which, I just got an order on Discogs. So it's all coming up Dowling this afternoon. I'll have a quick look and see what somebody's bought, because this is really interesting. Someone's bought Sonata Arctica, the first album off me, Japanese press. So there you go. Bam. That's going out tomorrow.
There you go. I'm gonna sell some of my ones.
Says the guy who's in self-isolation. I can still walk 100 metres to Australia Post.
Buyers. I love this option.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You have to post my things because I'm in isolation.
Yeah, only one person allowed to leave their house.
Can we just use Sendle or something? Do they pick up?
Well, they're meant to. They're meant to be able to pick up.
Well, are they going to pick up in this pandemic?
Maybe.
Better.
They could be essential services. We'll have to see.
I'm going to have to.
Might be time to sign up. I've been looking at that for a while. It looks like it's cheaper, but I've just been too lazy.
I signed up, but it just glazed over when I had to import all my listings.
I think when I knew I had to print things off.
Print?
Even though we
never
printer.
have ink. Ever.
It sounds like a printing, like you have to print a label or something. Oh, that sounds like effort.
I told work I'd be able to scan in any of the documents that I need to, and it's like a one-page scan system.
It's one of those little flatbed things on top.
It's Canon.
You might be able to scan through the... Anyway, whatever.
No.
People can't see what we're pointing at, so
no,
who
I don't
cares?
think you can.
Speaking of buying stuff, I've got to do a few little plugs. So I think I mentioned in the last Crazy Talk episode that been helping out Mr. LT, Mr. Tim Gross. Actually, I shouldn't be saying his real name.
Why did you say that?
But everybody knows that. Anyway, Mr. Tim, he's he's got a few new releases coming out, so I've been helping him with a bit of marketing, PR stuff. So he's got the new Illustrions album, I can never say this, and had a few beers. Carcinogist?
I don't know.
Do you know the word? Anyway, whatever. I'm sure if you saw it written down.
Carcinogen.
No, it's jest.
Okay, well, I don't know it.
CARCINOGEST.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, so that one's out, and also the Serenity Defiled album called Dead Earth Syndicate. That's out as well. The Serenity Defiled albums on Dominus Records and Illustrions are through their own Bandcamp, both on Bandcamp. But if you go to Dominus Records album, I looked up for you then. The Dominus Records Facebook page, there should be a bunch of links there. But you can hit me up if you want to know where they are. But go and grab them. I'm sending out the CDs for Serenity. So I've got a bunch here. So hit us up. There's only 100 of them printed, which is good. So it means it's taking up less room at my place. I'm posting them out. So I've already posted out a whole bunch. It's meant to be coming out on the 27th of March, but we like to send things out early for the people that support the band. So Tim's on vocals for both of those releases, and Tim's on lead guitars as well for Serenity Defiled. So if you want to hear Illustrions, if you haven't heard Illustrions, it's very much like it's very power metal-ish, and Serenity is like death metal, thrash metal, Slayer style stuff. So if you want to hear Tim with a slightly different vocal approach, although he's done a bunch of that stuff on Lord releases in the past, but you can check out the Serenity album. But the people that have heard it so far are very impressed. So looking forward to actually releasing it formally later this week on the 27th of March. Have you heard them yet, Jess?
No, I haven't.
No.
You should play them.
Well, I think Illium's on Spotify, and I think Serenity will be on Spotify at the end of this week, so you can listen to them then. Although there's anyway, whatever. Okay. Speaking of stuff, these are my great segues. Giveaways. So I put a challenge out to everybody to give me some more reviews. So last week was really good. I got a bunch of reviews and sent out some freebies to people that have been leaving nice comments. It doesn't have to be nice, but just leave a review somewhere, because the more action these pages get, the better for the podcast. So the best places to leave a review is on Apple Podcasts or on Facebook, because they're the easiest, but the most frequented places that people use. So they're the best places. But if you end up leaving a review anywhere else on the internet, I don't really care. Just do a screenshot, send it to me, and it'll be a massive help. So there's 2 people this week. I've got 3 things to give away, and there's only 2 people, so whatever. You guys are hopeless. But
can I have it?
What, the third one?
What is it?
Well, okay, so I'll tell you what they are. So
I already have that.
well, there you go. So, hey, what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. Well, anyway. So for the last few weeks, I've been giving away copies of a Dimebag tribute CD that was released back in 2006, I think, and it's got Lord's first ever recorded song, which was a cover of Shattered. Oh, fuck. And a bunch of other Australian metal bands on there, so it's a bit of a time capsule. Most of those bands don't even exist anymore, so there you go, a little historic record. And there's a copy of our EP, Lord's EP, What Tomorrow Brings, and I included a copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the book. I was crapping on about that last week. It's a bit of a game changer book, and I know a few people that are in my circles, mates, people that have been on the podcast previously have really enjoyed that book as well, so I thought I'd give it away because I've got an extra copy. So these people, the 2 people that left reviews this week, are going to get first and second dibs, and then whatever's left over, I'll just carry on into next week, and then I'll find some new things to give away. So we'll just play it by ear. But anyway, the first person who's left a lovely review, and mind you, what I said before, you don't have to leave a nice review. It can just be a pretty average review. It can be a shit review. I don't care. It's up to you. I might be leaving myself wide open, but whatever. The more action, the better. Any news is good news. So first one is Jordan Forster. Did I say his name? Yeah, Forster, of course. Jordan, sorry. Jordan's from Bendigo. Jordan also plays in the band Vessel, and I'm going to plug him because he's nice to me. So go to facebook.com/The Vessel Project, and they got a new album out called Vagabond Blues. They're kind of like doomy stoner metal stuff. So you might actually like that, Jessica. But Jordan left a review.
Me Jessica.
He left a review on Facebook and said, one of Australia's best podcasts. Andy's a natural communicator, not today. No, that's me. And strikes some super interesting conversations with a variety of characters, including Jessica, from all walks of life. A+! He didn't say Jessica. I added that in.
I was going to say, this is my first episode.
That's right. So thanks, Jordan. I'll reach out to you first.
Thanks,
you can have
Jordan.
You can have first dibs of the little prize pack that I have. I scrolled the wrong way and saw a screenshot of Frankie McDonald. I'll get to that shortly. Wasn't prepared to mention Frankie McDonald on an Indie Social podcast, but we'll do that. The second person who's left a review is another supporter of the podcast. He has been for quite some time, including Jordan, is Dan Brown. He's from Dapto down in near Wollongong, or just south of Wollongong, New South Wales, for people that are not familiar with the geography of the landscape. And Dan plays in a band called Ushi, and you can check out his band by going to facebook.com/Ushi band, OSHIE band. Dan left a review on Facebook as well, and he shared the Joel Hoekstra episode, Joel from Whitesnake, that went up a few weeks ago. So he said, the Andy Social podcast really is worth checking out if you haven't already. This episode in particular, Andy managed to get an interview with one of the guys from Whitesnake when their shows were cancelled in Australia. Really interesting interview. Andy highlights some of Whitesnake's career and just has a good conversation. Make sure to also check out the rest of his back catalogue. Thanks, Dan. So you'll get second dibs of whatever's left after Jordan's got his dirty mitts into the prize pack pool. And I'll just mention this screenshot from Frankie. I like to screenshot things that Frankie McDonald says. If for people who don't know who Frankie is, you can check him out on, I don't know what his handle is, but if you just type in Frankie, like FRANKIE, MacDonald, not MC, MAC. He's a guy from Nova Scotia in Canada, and he likes to scream at the camera and give weather predictions. He does weather reports, and one of his taglines is "Be prepared." Yeah, be prepared. So he's a bit special, but lovely guy. I've never spoken to him. I think actually he might have liked one of my replies on Twitter, and I got really excited. But anyway, he put
fangirled.
Yeah, I did a little bit. So Frankie put a post up today on Facebook saying, once the COVID-19 outbreak is over, I'll be traveling to other countries to do speeches around the globe. which is very exciting. But Frankie also says very often that he's never left Nova Scotia, and I've got a funny feeling that he may never. So I reckon he's banking on COVID-19 to just never go away, because otherwise he's going to be in big trouble. He's gonna have some major anxiety, knowing that he's got to fulfill his promise. But he keeps wanting to get on Ellen's talk show, Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
DeGeneres, is that correct? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't really give a shit about Ellen. Sorry, Ellen.
Well,
don't care.
Well, Frankie does, and Frankie keeps talking about how he's going to get on the Ellen show. So hopefully that happens. So if anyone wants to support Frankie, you can go on Twitter and keep tagging Ellen on all of his tweets, and hopefully it'll make him happy. But yeah, he's certainly a character. He's one of the long list of characters that I follow on the socials.
Yeah.
You know a few of them, Jess? Yeah. So there you go. Top Dog, Coxel Babble. Coxel's awesome. Who else is there?
Too many idiots. I don't know.
No, they're not. Excuse me. I'll have to edit that out. That is horrible.
Edit that out. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was drinking my wine.
You were scrolling on your phone while I was talking shit. Nothing new. Anyway.
Are they the only ones I know?
No, there's others. There has to be others.
Oh, yeah, Chef.
Oh, Chef Burak.
Burak. Yeah, but I follow him too secretly. You never knew.
Oh, really? Yeah, he's pretty good. But I like his people that come into the videos. The old guy who dances when he's lighting fires and everything.
I don't care for that.
That's like what the music sounds like. Some Turkish music. Anyway, there's a bunch of people, but yeah, Frankie's one of them. So considering I had a screenshot saved in my phone, I thought he can have a little cameo on this episode as well. Some good company with myself and my wife. And also, so for next week, so considering there's only 2 people, there'll be one thing left over. So I don't know what that's going to be. So I'll just carry that into next week. And I might ask Tim and see, what are you pointing at?
What? You have 5 things there.
Well, no, because each week I've been just giving away like copies of like the Dime Bag thing and the Lord release. And so they'll just be there anyway because I've got a few copies of them. So I need to declutter. But there'll be a 3rd extra. But what I might do is I might ask Tim if he'd be willing to allow me to get rid of
anything.
Anything? No, don't. I don't have anything in this place here. It's surrounded by like piles and piles of CDs and books and everything. But I might ask Tim if he can allow me to give away a copy of the Serenity
now
Defiled album. And that might be a nice little extra. But leave some reviews, people. Far out. Like support the scene. Like go and
support the Crand.
Support the Crand. And yeah, like just you can write like, I don't know, this podcast is okay, or don't really like it that much, or don't be like that guy who left a review on Apple Podcasts and gave me a 1-star negative review because I had the wrong category for my podcast, or he thought I did. That guy's a cunt. But
God damn it.
And luckily somebody else, Ash from Moema, last week left a review, and he bumped down this dickhead's review out of the preview screen on Apple Podcasts. So that was good. So Ash is a bit of a hero, but I need more people to do that. So just even if it's just a subpar average review, can be like a 2-star, 3-star thing. I don't care. You can just say, yeah, it's kind of okay. It's not like my first preference.
Just be honest.
Yeah, just be honest. Like the more the better. Okay. Anyway. You get the point. So we'll see what's going to be up for grabs next week. So maybe it's a bit of a wild card. I may not even give away more of those Dime Bag CDs and Lord CDs. I might give away something else. So just leave reviews and I might just up the ante. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I think that's about it. So I think I've covered everything. The usual plugs. You can go to andydowling.net, my wanky URL. And you can support the podcast by going to paypal.me/AndyDowlingOfficial, and you can leave me a few dollars. I was thinking during this this lockdown that, why are you looking at me like that?
Nothing.
And I thought maybe I could like up the ante because I'm doing 2 episodes a week, but maybe I could just do more. But I don't want to pay TY more money. Well, I mean, I have to.
Do you?
Well, I do, because he's spending time doing the podcast for me. So I guess what I'm trying to say, people, is that if you want me to put out even more episodes each week, then give me more money, and then I'll just pay TY to do more episodes each week. And I'm already banked up to May if I just do one a week. But
so when's this episode come out?
this one, it comes out Tuesday morning.
Tuesday.
Very timely. So
Timely? It's Sunday.
Well, hey, all my podcasts are recorded weeks in advance. So this is as timely as it's going to get.
There's still time.
Anyway, so so you can donate a few dollars, and if I'm getting a little bit of a spike of income, then I may put out a few extra episodes during the Corona break, because everybody is going to have a little bit of extra time on their hands. So I may as well put out some more episodes. And there's heaps of people I want to talk to, and I'm putting them off because it'll be 6 to 8 weeks before their episodes even go out. So
we just do Corona updates.
Oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't think there's enough. Did you know that there are thousands of new Corona podcasts that have come out in the last few weeks?
Lame.
There's heaps. So I don't need to add to that. The fact that I'm even mentioning Corona is more than enough. So no, bad idea. But yeah, you can donate paypal.me/Andy Dowling official. It's in the show notes. Click in the podcast player. There's a bunch of clickable links there, nice and easy. And if you go to andydowling.net, there's links to our band Lord and all the other podcasts that have been associated with over the years. So nice and easy, and all the social media handles are all there. And Jess, people can go and buy items for their partners or for themselves. Hey, there might be some guys who might just want a lovely dress or some shoes or something. We're not going to judge.
Send it to them before.
Yeah, either you have actually, haven't you? Yeah.
Leon, whoever you were.
Don't name names.
It was ages ago.
Wasn't there a guy who was trying to buy something from you, and he was obsessed with parachute silk?
Yeah.
What did you just show me then? Some guy
I don't
naked?
know. This guy has the biggest nipples ever.
Okay, anyway.
It came up in my scroll.
Anyway, so why are you on your phone? You're trying to be you're meant to be paying attention. Yeah, thank you. But didn't you have a guy who was obsessed with parachute silk?
Yeah, he wanted to make sure the silk felt like parachute silk.
And were you able to confirm that?
Well, I asked a few questions. What do you mean by parachute silk? And he explained World War I and World War II, and the paratroopers dropped from the planes, that they had parachutes and they were made out of silk. And he wanted to make sure that the skirt felt like parachute silk.
Did he buy the skirt?
No.
Oh, he was just a tire kicker.
Just perv.
Damn. But yeah, you have sold. What have you sold? Like dresses to a few guys or shoes?
Because my foot is such an abomination and have size 9 to 10 feet for a short lady, I sell bigger shoes, and sometimes they're just the right size for the blokes.
There you go. And so you sell a few shoes. There you go. So, hey,
high heels.
There might be a few out there that are listening and go, you know what? I actually need a pair of high heels.
Those knee-high boots.
There you
Remember
go.
those?
Sure. Okay.
You sold them for me.
Yeah, there you go. So,
Guy.
did I?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Remember?
Yeah, I can't really remember it all. I was just playing along then. So if anybody wants a dress or a skirt or some shoes, or have you still got jewelry online?
I do, on Etsy.
How do people find that? You don't know? Okay, damn. All right. Should I put links in the show notes for people? Okay, I might do that for you.
You can go to my blog.
Your blog?
It's all there.
What's that? JessicaPizzin.com. PIZZIN.
Like pizza.
But IN.
Yeah.
And all the links are there. And so, yeah, if you want to get some jewelry, maybe that someone's got a birthday coming up or an anniversary, or maybe they just want to drab themselves in some lovely bling.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any other things you'd like to plug, or is there anything that's sort of at the front of mind that you just want to get out of your system?
Not on the record.
No?
No.
I'm surprised Larry's been so quiet.
Yeah, I gave him some seed.
Oh, that's why. The equivalent of cheeseburgers for birds.
Good.
Little fat boy. Anyway.
Shout out a cheeseburger.
All right. Okay. On that note, we're going to keep drinking. All right. Oh, there he is in the background. Okay. That's enough. So, actually, sorry. This week coming, new podcast coming out is with Lance Laser of Tough Boys. You like a bit of Tough Boys, Jess.
Yeah.
Greek Olympics is one of my favorite songs. That's a good track.
Sing it.
Greek Olympics. Olympics.
Greek Olympics.
I can't remember the rest of it. It's pretty good. You can go and listen to them on Spotify if you type in Tough Boys. You can write Greek Olympics. And what was the other one? Sexy Man, I think. I can be a sexy man. Yeah. So Lance is going to be on the podcast this week. That was recorded in Adelaide a couple of months ago now. So the Adelaide guests are starting to come onto the podcast now. So there's quite a few people. So we'll get through all of them over the coming weeks. But Lance is on this Thursday. And I think that's it. I've got nothing else to say. Nothing else? Is that it?
Nothing else.
Should we wrap it up?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Bye. Larry.